She's so fine. Hell blows my mind. Hell lights my day.
And so we know how that turned out because the FBI was not allowed to touch the Kanika Jenkins case per the Rosemont Police Department. She posted this and it says, "From the first time my family and I enter into the Crown Plaza Hotel in search of my child Kanika, we were peaceful. I begged for help and peace, and they allegedly filed accusations stating my family and I threatened them. After they told me that Kanika was deceased, they finally allowed us to sit in their conference room. As we sat there in that room, waiting peacefully and patiently, Rosemont Police Department guarded the room with us in there and stated that we had to stay in there while they do their investigation. Proof from their own website, allegedly, they never cared. The police never did a real investigation unless Crown Plaza employees helped them do the investigation, allegedly. That's called cover-up. Justice for Kanika." All right, let's take a look at that. I had to separate it into two because of the length. Now, what she's saying here is from the moment they got there, they were peaceful and asking for help. And from jump, they had a funny encounter, if you will, with the Crown Plaza Chicago O'Hare and also the Rosemont Police Department, with them finally allowing the family to sit in their conference room. Meanwhile, they guarded the door and said that they had to do their investigation. So she's just letting that be known. And she says it here plain as day. She feels like it's a cover-up. All right? She just says that out of her own mouth. So don't say Miss Tereasa hasn't said anything. She said a lot of stuff. Just some of us aren't choosing to pay attention to that. Let's move on. This one is of particular interest. This is Miss Tereasa Martin. Her post says, "One more thing. I had Kanika out my P-word. That is my daughter that you've seen in Crown Plaza footage. How could you say that's not her? If you're a true parent, you know your child or children. The F? Now, whoever got something to say, I need not tell you again what to kiss of mine. Justice for Kanika. Only God can judge me." It's plain and simple what she's saying here. She says that is Kanika on the footage, Edward, and that she knows her child, Edward, and to anybody else that thinks otherwise, you know what you can kiss of hers. And that's out. That's all she's saying out of her own mouth. This next post is from Tereasa Martin. It says, "I want all you giant evil people to go inspect this police report number," which the Rosemont police said they will correct it because the police that filed the missing person report said he did not see Kanika entering or exiting Crown Plaza Hotel when he viewed all Crown Plaza's footage. Her life could have been saved if he really looked 12 plus hours before they found my child lifeless. So, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. She wants you all to see the handwritten case number. And she's also saying that that same police officer said that he did not see Kanika entering or exiting the Crown Plaza Hotel when he said he viewed all of the Crown Plaza's footage. All right. Her next post I had to break up into two parts again. It says, "I'm only asking this question to the real parents. How much money would make you happy if you knew that your child could still be alive? Only if somebody would have not looked at your wealth or skin color and took out a few seconds just to look at the cameras, but didn't, to save your child's life, but did not. proof. After your child loses their life, they release video footage of your child wandering around trying to find their way to safety. You, as a parent, feel it in your soul. Your child needs you. And because I'm black, my little baby girl lost her effing life. How dare you, assholes? Days later, you have the nerve to ask someone, still, not even giving your condolences. You offer to pay for her funeral. You should have been telling me that you had that footage of camera that was above that freezer I pointed out, that magically disappeared. Give me justice for Kanika, or else kiss my jet black ass. And I don't think that needs any explanation at all. She's flat out saying to the real parents out there, how much money would make you happy if you knew your child could be alive? Like, come on. And here she's saying, how dare you? Days later, still have the nerve to ask someone something, and you still ain't even gave her your condolences. But you want to offer to pay for her funeral. And she's still adamant about that camera footage above the freezer. Adamant that there was a camera above that freezer. And on that post, Bree left purple hearts. Miss Tereasa returned those purple hearts with a flex bicep. And she also said, love you, Ma, to Miss Tereasa. Miss Tereasa then addressed her and said, I will always love you. If it wasn't for you, I would have never known my baby was missing. JFK. And Bree says to her, love you forever too, Ma. We got this. We gonna get justice. So that kind of tells you who the one was that placed the phone call to Miss Tereasa. And from this statement, it appears to be Bree. Another post, and I had to break it into 2 sections because it was so long. It says, this is for all the true parents that has raised their children since birth. Better yet, mothers, real mothers, who carried their children for 9 months, birthed them. When you didn't have enough for yourself, you allowed your children to eat. You got full, knowing that as long as your children were full, you was full without eating not one bite. Let me tell you, people, that is allowing the devil to control you. Crown Plaza Hotel, Rosemont, and you will not, cannot stop my focus on getting justice for my little baby girl. I told the world to prevent your child or children, if not you, from having you to witness the pain and suffering of my family and myself. Even though you all try to slay me, I still stand in the mighty name of God. For those who have an ear, you better hear me. Laugh now, and I promise you will cry later. Our God got this. The ones that truly cares in getting justice for Kanika. Not because the fame or fortune. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. I thank you all so much. And this post too is pretty self-explanatory. Crown Plaza and Rosemont are not going to stop her from getting justice. She's just not going to let them. She's that determined. Period. She posted this. If black people don't respect black people, what makes us think another race would respect us? Please stop killing each other. Black people, it's time for us to come together and protest black on black crime in the world. Please. I love you all. That's real talk right there. That's real talk. You know, a lot of you all don't even know what my ethnicity is. And that's fine. I'm going to keep you guessing. But that's real talk right there. Her next post. Crown Plaza, Rosemont Police Department. Because the sergeant and head detective saw Lenore and me point to that camera right above that freezer out to them. Do not care how people threaten me until the death of me. What the hell you all did with that camera that was right above that damn freezer? You want me to believe Kanika walked in by herself? Show me. Justice for Kanika. The F? Again, very adamant that there was a camera above that freezer. Here's one of particular interest. Please share. Justice for Kanika. James Coleman did not kill Kanika. He took my children in as if they were his own. He was at work. Devil, stop with your lies. Just because you're no longer with the person, don't mean you guys still cannot be friends. Now, Crown Plaza, Rosemont, why you all destroyed that camera? And I thought this was a good time to show these pictures of Kanika and James Coleman and her mom. This is coming from her mama's mouth. She said James Coleman took her kids in as if they were his own. Yet, and I've done videos on it, he's gotten thrown into this narrative simply because people want to grasp at straws. Because there's zero evidence that he had anything to do with this case whatsoever. Nothing. And he most certainly didn't work for the Biological Resource Center. This man was locked up during the whole Biological Resource Center fiasco. This is sad, though, because he got just plumb dragged through the mud over this case simply because of his affiliation with Miss Tereasa Martin. Moving on. Miss Tereasa posted this. Put yourself in my shoes for 1 second. August the 16th, 2017. You win a battle at cancer for your life over death. A little over a week later, the mother's man that she thought was a godsend leaves you because he's not strong enough to hold you down. Then 2 weeks later, you lose your little baby girl in the process of a mother losing her child. A mother asks the world for help, especially her own kind, just for the mother to find out that her own kind is able to be brought beside that. This mother's love is unconditional, and she truly forgives them, but she will never forget. Through it all, I know my God got me. Rosemont, I still have not forgiven about you. I think it's supposed to be forgotten about you. Justice for Kanika. So she's telling you right there what happened. She won her battle with cancer on August the 16th. 2 weeks later, her and James Coleman split up. And then 2 weeks after that, or a little over a week after her cancer, she won the battle with cancer, is when he left her. Then 2 weeks after that is when this happened with Kanika. She's a strong woman. But she said, Rosemont, I still have not forgotten about you. This post from Miss Tereasa Martin says, those of you that have not sinned, cast the first stone. Could everyone out here that truly from the bottom of their heart wants justice for my Kanika, please stop, whom this applies to. Take all your negative energy and stay focused on what truly happened to my child. Most of you have children of your own. You better be very careful with your words. God sits high and watches down low. I forgive you, amazing human. All I want is justice for my little baby girl. Very true words. Very true words. So she's asking, begging, more or less, to stop with the negativity and stay focused on what really happened to her child. The next post. Oh, let's not forget when I asked the head detective when he called my phone, when would they be finished with Kanika's body? He stated to me he didn't know because the medical examiner is on vacation and that she is expected back that following Wednesday. So she's more or less telling you what's going on without telling you a lot of specifics. She's kept us in the loop on pretty much everything, guys. Here's one. Rosemont Police Department Sergeant, you and that head detective told Lenore and me we could not touch Kanika's body because you all were going to take fingerprints. What the hell happened? Also, you told Lenore and me we could not take pictures because you were investigating. If you all would have allowed us to take pictures, I promise you devils, I would have taken a picture of every camera I pointed to that day. Justice for Kanika. So they wouldn't let her touch Kanika's body because they were going to take fingerprints. Well, we never seen any of that in the file. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. But what it does mean is that they didn't give us that information in the file. Also, told them they couldn't take pictures because they were doing an investigation. So there you go. They called that an investigation. This post. I believe them babies that did the interview. Thank you, loves. Justice for Kanika. Crown Plaza hotel staff did me the same way the first time I went up there by myself, around 5 or 6 a.m. on 9/9/2017. Wait. Did me like that the first time I went up there by myself, around 5 or 6 a.m. 9/9/2017. The security guard never showed me his face. That's interesting. When she went up there by herself around 5 or 6 in the morning on 9/9/17, the security guard never showed Miss Tereasa his face. Out of her own mouth here on her post. I had to break this up into two. It says around 10 or 11-ish a.m. Second time, my daughter Lenore making a missing person report after being denied by Crown Plaza Hotel in help of assisting in search of Kanika. Crown Plaza denied to look at the videos again. Lenore, Paris, and Kiki arriving back to the Crown Plaza Hotel. On our third time, around 6 or 7-ish p.m. on 9/9/17, my family, a few friends, and myself never left that hotel. We were made to stand outside for hours, which we did, whatever they told us to do in peace, because we were not going to give Rosemont police a reason to lock us up. We were determined to find my daughter. Even though we stood there praying in peace, they watched us. They should have been watching Crown Plaza's footage. Rosemont Police Department left again after half-assed looking for my baby, Kanika. Kanika possibly could have been saved since the medical examiner stated they could not determine Kanika's actual time of death. So she says around 10 or 11 o'clock a.m., the second time Lenore made the missing person report, they denied helping her look. And then the third time, around 6 or 7 p.m., same day, her family, a couple of her friends, and herself never left that hotel, were made to stand outside, and they watched them. And Miss Tereasa kept it peaceful because she didn't want them to lock her up or anyone else up. And what she said they should have been doing was watching the footage. And that they left again after half-assed looking for Kanika. And so she said that in that time frame, they could have saved Kanika had they looked for her, because the medical examiner could not determine Kanika's actual time of death. She goes on to say, P.S. It took for Lenore and Lamont to calling 911 for the fourth or more times, 10 or 11-ish p.m. on 9/9/17, after us seeing someone in a window which appeared to have suspicious activity within a room on the 11th floor. This is when Rosemont Police finally, officially, begins their search for my baby. After Rosemont told me that it was no way to tell me that they found Kanika and she was dead around 12:30-ish a.m., I think is what that's supposed to say, on 9/10/17, we broke down. I prayed a prayer to God. Within that prayer, I asked God to carry me because I could not carry myself. And only thing came to Rosemont Police's minds is if we could not stop grieving, we would be made to leave the Crown Plaza Hotel. I made a live video around 12:34 a.m. on 9/10/17, right before I went back into Crown Plaza, looked that detective in his eyes and begged him to see my child's body as she was when she died. My family, friends, and I did not leave that hotel, which it took 5+ hours for me to finally see Kanika's body lying on a table like bed until around 6 or 7ish a.m. on 9/10/17. That post had a lot of stuff in it. She said that Lenore Lamont called for the fourth time to 911 and told them about the suspicious activity in the room on the 11th floor, which turned out to be the birthday party. And that's when the Rosemont police finally began actually officially searching for Kanika. She said Kanika was found around 12:30ish, I think is what she's supposed to be saying, a.m. And she prayed for God to carry her because she couldn't carry herself. And that Rosemont police told them if they couldn't stop grieving, they were going to have to leave the hotel. If they couldn't stop crying, reacting, they were going to have to leave the hotel after they knew her daughter was dead in their hotel. How heartless is that? She said she made a live around 12:34 a.m. right before she went back into the Crown Plaza and asked to see Kanika's body as she was when she died. It took them over 5 hours to allow Miss Tereasa and Lenore to see Kanika's body on the gurney. Straight from the horse's mouth.